Hey everybody, how's it going? So we have the text messages that are leaked, and this is so much bigger than just simply a kid being upset that his, trans ideology was quote unquote threatened by Charlie Kirk. This goes back to our government. This goes back to many trans groups, a possible trans militia. It's pretty bad. And it has a lot to do with previous Democrats being part of this. The FBI should have been shut down. Had the FBI, CIA, and all that been shut down day one and been turned into a museum just like Kash Patel promised, this probably actually would not have happened. So I am going to put some blame on Kash Patel for being incompetent and not doing what he had promised to do. Yeah, I'm not just biased against Democrats. The fact of the matter is when all the information came out, it was like, oh, this is Democrats. Oh, this is trans-related. Okay, this is very clearly the left's fault. Okay? And then we keep finding out that, hey, there were more Democrats involved. There's more extreme leftists. It's their fault. They are 90% at fault. That being said, Kash Patel did promise to shut down the FBI, and he did promise that he would turn them into a museum. That has not happened. Why has that not happened? Well, beyond me. I don't know if Kash Patel and Pam Bondi are part of the Democrats as well. Pam Bondi slipped and started wanting to use hate speech when it's like, no, we don't need to use hate speech. We already have laws on the books. For people like Destiny and all them that are violating that law, it's called incitement to violence. Hate speech is not a real thing. There's no such thing as hate speech. But when you openly violate a law that already exists, because hate speech laws don't exist, they just like to use that term, and they're trying to naturalize it to become law, which is never going to work. Never. It should never work. It needs to be stamped down. But here's a fact, okay? The left was absolutely mostly involved. And the fact that she had this little Floridian slip on this, and the fact that they are violating an already written law by incitement, it's strange to me. Okay? So I don't know if Kash Patel and Pam Bondi are working with Democrats or not, and they're just playing double agent. But I do know one thing's for a fact. The Democrats were absolutely behind this assassination. Now, I'm going to read these messages first. And then I'm going to get into the rest of the evidence. Even Trump had to say something about this. Maybe now is the time to say, uh-oh, we should have done what we promised day one. Anyway, so all this stuff, I'll go ahead and I'll read it all. But the main issues are going to be from right here down. So he says, I am okay, my love, referring to his trans roommate. Now, does that sound like a conservative ideology right there? No? Okay, let's keep going. But am stuck in Orem for a little while longer yet. Shouldn't be long until I can come home, but I gotta grab my rifle still. To be honest, I had hoped to keep this secret until I died of old age. I am sorry to involve you. You weren't the one who did it, right? He said, I'm sorry. I thought they caught the person? No, they grabbed some crazy old dude, then interrogated someone in similar clothing. I had planned to grab my rifle from the drop point shortly after, but most of that side of town got locked down. It's quiet, almost enough to get out, but there's one vehicle lingering. Now, here's what's interesting. That old man that they grabbed has recently been reinterrogated. That old man somehow was involved because that old man was saying that he had done it. It's really weird. It's almost like that old man was trying to buy him time to get away. So now they're questioning him all over again. He was probably part of this militia. But we'll get to that. So the roommate said, why? And he said, why did I do it? And he goes, yeah, I had enough of his hatred. Do you think a groyper thinks Charlie Kirk was hateful or not hateful enough? Leftists, be honest. Do you think groypers think Charlie Kirk was too hateful? Are you saying that you all have more in common with groypers than you do with someone like Charlie Kirk? I want to hear a leftist say that with a straight face. That they think groypers are more reasonable than somebody that was on Charlie Kirk's team. or Charlie Kirk himself. I would love to see that. Some hate can't be negotiated out. If I am able to grab my rifle and scene, I will have left no evidence going to attempt to retrieve it again. Hopefully they have moved on. I haven't seen anything about them finding it. How long have you been planning this? A bit over a week, I believe. I can get close to it, but there's a squad car parked right by it. I think they already swept the spot, but I don't want to chance it. I'm wishing I had circled back and grabbed it as soon as I got my vehicle. I'm worried what my old man would do if I don't bring back Grandpa's rifle. I don't even know if it had a serial number. Well, of course it does. But it wouldn't trace to me. I worry about prints. I had to leave it in the bush where I changed outfits. Didn't have the ability to or time to bring it with. I might have to abandon it and hope they don't find prints. How the F will I explain losing it to my old man? The only thing I left was a rifle wrapped in a towel. Remember how I was engraving bullets? Okay, there we go. The effing messages are mostly a big meme. Obviously, the catch fascist wasn't a meme. If I see notices bulge ooh on Fox News, I might have a stroke. All right, I'm going to have to leave it. That really effing sucks. Okay. Judging from today, I'd say Grandpa's gun does just fine. I don't know. I think that was a $2,000 scope. He says, delete this exchange. My dad wants photos of the rifle. He says Grandpa wants to know who has what. The feds released a photo of the rifle, and it's very unique. He's calling me right now, not answering. Since Trump got into office, my dad has been pretty diehard MAGA. Interesting. So your dad has been pretty diehard MAGA. That doesn't seem like anything that you are about. Pretty anti-MAGA. That sounds like a very pro-right-winger right there to be pretty anti-MAGA nowadays, doesn't it? That's interesting. I'm going to turn myself in willingly. One of my neighbors here is a deputy for the sheriff. You are all I worry about, love, is what Robinson said to his trans roommate, of course. I'm much more worried about you. Don't talk to the media, please. Don't take any interviews or make any comments. If any police ask you questions, ask for a lawyer and stay silent. So that's the exchange there. Very incredibly right-wing, isn't it? Super right-wing, huh? Mainstream media outlets are now reporting alleged assassin Tyler Robinson did not act in a vacuum. There may have been dozens with advanced knowledge of his sinister plans. Marxist infiltration, transgender ideology, trips to Cuba, money from CCP operatives. This investigation is far from normal. So, gotta love X, how garbage of a platform it is that it can't even load a picture. Amazing job, Elon. There we go. Charlie Kirk's assassination investigation widens to probe whether pro-trans online groups knew in advance. Let me just explain. I got banned off X again for account manipulation. Don't know what it means. Don't know why. I'm trying to fight it, but I'm sick and tired of it. I'm not going to pay for X anymore. They just don't care. They're running it like old Twitter. So, guys, if you want someplace better, link down in the description below. My Discord. Join there. You'll even get notified of every single one of my videos, not having to rely on YouTube and their garbage. So, there's that. Please like, subscribe, and share as well, and I'll see you guys here in the Discord. Queer resistance. Agitate, educate, organize. Lecture. Armed Queers, SLC Ex Maca, September 27th. I don't know what all this is, but it's in Salt Lake City. So, there was that, September 27th. They believe that this militia was probably the close militia that was actually part of it. Protect trans kids and abortion rights. Joined the Armed Queers. They can't even have kids. You know? With what they're doing to their bodies, they can't even have kids. Along with other community organizations in a rally against law targeting trans kids and abortion rights. Let's see. February 1st, all that good stuff. Okay. So they think all of these people, protecting people's movement, Rise of the Community Defense, Elm Fork, John Brown, Gun Club, Armed Queers, Salt Lake City. So there's a whole lot. 1 second, though. COVID cough. Anyway, the story itself, Story Slam, Friday, September 19th. There's a lot of trans stuff going on right now. How did this guy get to post so many pictures? What the heck? I can only post 4 at a time. Okay, anyway. So, long story short with all this. You know, oh, I see. It's going down here. Beneath the bizarre signs and slogans is a revolutionary queer machine that is foreign-influenced, centrally organized, and shockingly well-oiled. So, there is all that. But then we find out, you know. Let's see here. Armed Queers SLC formed in 2020. branding themselves a militant Marxist-Leninist collective. Their mission, armed protection of queer trans communities, abolishing police, prisons, and capitalism. They train, mobilize, and preach revolution openly in Salt Lake City, in February 14. Gotcha. February 14th. So, abolishing police, prisons, and capitalism is very, very much in line with a lot of the Democrats' agenda in general. That's why all these criminals are going out there stabbing people on trains and stuff. And these people fully support it. They're now under FBI microscope. New York Post revealed feds are probing whether groups tied to Tyler Robinson, Kirk's accused killer, had foreknowledge. Among them, Armed Queers SLC. Their Instagram vanished after Kirk was killed. That's interesting. Classic digital cleanup. Oh, I see. So he's got 1 out of 14. So he's got 14. There's a long thread here. Enter Ermaya Fenian? I don't even know how to pronounce that. The face of this movement. Once hailed as a March for Our Lives leader, she flipped the script, revived pink pistols in Utah, urged LGBTQ arming, then co-founded Armed Queers, the reformist activist to militant organizer in record time. Here's the twist. 2022, this person was recognized by Utah Global Diplomacy, a State Department-affiliated NGO, non-government organization. You know what happens there. It's a government organization. She received the 7 for 17 award for advancing UN Sustainable Development Goal number 5, gender equality. A militant organizer held up as a model youth. UGD bragged, our first 7 for 17 award winner, Ermaya. I'm just going to call her Ermaya. I don't care. Call him Ermaya, probably. They praised his abortion organizing, trans activism, and research into gender oppression by state institutions. Yes, the State Department's local partner crowned him a global change agent. Okay. But UGD isn't random. It's one of 86 nonprofits tied directly to the State Department, hosting international delegations, running U.S. exchange programs. It operates under the Bureau of Education and Culture. Their mission advanced America's diplomacy agenda. We need to get rid of most just organizations in the government and start over. That's what we need to do. We absolutely need to just quash everything. Everything in the government needs to go. Follow the money. UGD's filings show it runs on government grants. In 2023 alone, it got $230,000 via global ties for the State Department's International Visitor Leadership Program. Add private foundation cash. This isn't bake sales. It's Washington-funded diplomacy. Receipts. Armed Queers SLC raised cash through Venmo, this person specifically, partnering with bookstores to fund Cuba trips. Yes, its co-funder was validated by State Department partner. The feds crowned a militant Marxist as a model youth. That's exposure. And there you go. So how does the militant group leader picked as model youth for U.S. diplomacy who signed off? Did no one vet her? Is this a her or him? I'm not even sure. I don't care, really. Before putting the State Department's halo over her head. Or was it deliberate showcasing radicals aligned with UN sustainable goals? I wish I could tell, but I'm not entirely sure. So, there's that. We'll see if it's a dude or not. It gets murkier. Utah Global Diplomacy later scrubbed her profile. Instagram's post remains, but her page is gone. Quiet purge. Why erase the record if there's nothing to hide? Who trapped them? Or is this internal damage control as scrutiny explodes? No evidence Armed Queers SLC itself got USAID funds. UGD also shows no USAID cash, but UGD is State Department financed. The bottom line, a U.S. government partner honored a militant now under FBI scrutiny for ties to a political assassination. That's the story. Credit where credit's due. Okay, now he's giving credits. This is just the beginning. A militant group State Department award. A UN agenda now in FBI investigation. Too many short letters. How deep does this rabbit hole go? Well, I guess we are going to find out. We're absolutely going to find out here soon. Yes, Emira is a biological. Okay, so it's a dude. Got it. We found out. Alrighty, cool. So this dude That's a fact. All right. Now we can actually call him a dude because I don't care. Arctic frost. Okay? So, massive news. The state of Florida is launching an investigation and issuing subpoenas to former Biden officials who targeted Charlie Kirk's Turning Point USA and other conservative groups following the revelation that Democrats' quote-unquote codename Arctic Frost program wrongfully targeted them. Time for accountability. We're going to be going into that here later on. I'll probably live stream more about this tomorrow. I'm going to do a live stream tomorrow, so there's that. Definitely catch that, guys. Biden's FBI, dirty OP, Arctic frost is going to explode. Now, here's Donald Trump on the matter. This was just earlier today. At like midnight or something? September 17th? What the heck? How is this September 17th and done like 13 hours ago? I guess that would have been at like 2 a.m. or something. Whatever. It says 10:23 a.m. though. That was just like an hour ago. And this was here way before that. What is going on? Did somebody add this date? I'm really, really confused. Sorry, the kids were telling me that Chick-fil-A has now been delivered. I don't normally do Chick-fil-A, but... Oh, okay. It's okay. we'll get a baby doll. Funny kids. I'll get them their meals here in a second. I've been sick. I can't cook, so, you know, there's that. I am gonna lay down after this. You could probably hear it in my voice. My voice is starting to go, so... Why was the wrongful Turning Point under investigation by deranged Jack Smith in the corrupt, incompetent Biden administration? They tried to force Charlie and many other people and movements out of business. They weaponized the Justice Department against me, Sleepy Joe Biden's political opponents, including me. They allowed the daughter of a judge on one of the corrupt trials against me to become the biggest fundraiser for Biden and Kamala, making millions of dollars for herself and her family. But with her father, the judge, not only refusing to recuse himself, but putting a gag order on me, not allowing any talk about their family corruption and unprecedented conflict of interest. Every leading legal analyst and pundit said this trial was wrong and should not have been allowed to go forward. But it did because of a corrupt judge who will hopefully pay a very big price for his legal actions someday. And I hope that that is the case. There is so much more to go over in general. Oh, I read this one. And I don't have enough time in a single video to do this because we're already 17 minutes in. But definitely join me on the live stream. I'm going to be going over everything. I'm going to be going over Destiny, Hassan, all the people inciting violence. And guys, please join me. Make sure to be there. Make sure that we can get this information out so we can actually possibly create change or at least awareness to as many people as possible of what's really going on here in the United States and why Charlie Kirk lost his life. Thank you all so much for watching. Please like, subscribe, and share, guys. And definitely go to that Discord. I'll see y'all in the next one. Later.